Fix and flip funding secrets from Ricardo. The funding strategy. 99% of flippers get wrong. Most flippers hit a funding wall because they don't understand how lenders think. Ricardo exposes the advanced hard money tactics for optimizing your capital and securing funding for your next 10 flips. The funding strategy. 99% of flippers get wrong. You've been told that in real estate, it's all about location, location, location. And that's true. But for flippers who really want to scale, it's only half the story. The real mantra is lender, lender, lender. The funding strategy that a vast majority of flippers get wrong is thinking their number one job is finding a great deal. It isn't. Your real job is to find a deal that your lender is excited to fund. I've seen it 100 times. Flippers, even seasoned ones, hit a funding wall, and their business grinds to a halt. It's not because the deal's dried up. It's because the money did. They're playing chess but only seeing one move ahead. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the money before you find the deal so you can get your next 10 flips funded. This is the strategy that separates the amateurs from the operators who build a real business. Let's be honest, this is going to sound painfully familiar to a lot of you. You've been grinding for weeks, maybe months. You've driven every street in your target zip code, you've analyzed 50 deals that didn't pencil out, and you've networked until your voice was hoarse. Then, finally, you land a killer deal. It's got great bones, it's in a decent up-and-coming neighborhood. The numbers don't just work, they sing. This is the one. The deal that's going to launch your empire. Now comes the mad dash. You scramble to find a hard money lender, pulling all-nighters to assemble your package. You submit a mountain of paperwork, bank statements, tax returns, a detailed scope of work. Your life story. You hit send, and you hold your breath, checking your email every 5 minutes. Then, a miracle. The email you've been waiting for lands in your inbox. You're approved. The relief is immense. You get the loan, you do the work, you manage the contractors, you navigate the inspections, you sell the house for top dollar and make a sweet 5-figure profit. You're on top of the world, popping the champagne. You've proven the concept. You're a real estate mogul in the making. The path to financial freedom feels like it's finally paved in gold. So, what's next? You don't waste a second. You go find another deal, an even better one this time, with a bigger potential profit. You walk back into the same lender's office with a spring in your step, expecting a hero's welcome. But when you sit down, the conversation is different. The friendly, eager-to-help tone from before is gone, replaced by something more clinical, more skeptical.
They ask, "So, where's all the profit from that last flip?" And the truth is, it's all tied up. Sure, it's in your bank account, but it's already earmarked for the down payment on this next deal, for the first few Reno draws, and, for living. You had to pay yourself something, right? All of your capital from deal 1 is now locked into deal 2. You can't show them a big pile of cash sitting idle because every single dollar has a job to do.
This is the funding wall. It's the invisible barrier that feels like it appears out of nowhere. This is where so many promising flipping businesses stall out and die. They become one-deal wonders, stuck in a painful cycle of doing one project at a time, losing all momentum, all their precious deal-finding energy, while they hunt for the next dollar. The market is moving, deals are flying by, but they're stuck on the sidelines, waiting for their capital to be released. The core problem is a flawed perspective. They treat funding like a one-off transaction for each deal instead of building a system for capital. The amateur flipper finds a property, then goes begging for money, seeing the lender as a gatekeeper who has to be convinced, a judge who might grant them a favor. They put the deal first and the money second, and that sequence is a recipe for failure. This single mistake creates a bottleneck that stops them from ever truly scaling. They can't do 2 deals at once, let alone 3 or 4. They burn all their energy finding amazing deals, only to realize that without a repeatable, predictable funding pipeline, a great deal is just a pipe dream. It's a source of frustration, not opportunity. They're trapped, not by a lack of good deals, but by a lack of a good funding strategy. The reason so many flippers get stuck is that they're working with a broken model. Let's call it the old way. The old way is exactly what I just described. Find a deal, fall in love with it, spend weeks analyzing it, making offers, getting it under contract, and and then starting the frantic, desperate search for money. This approach instantly puts you in the weakest possible negotiating position. You're desperate, you're on a deadline, and lenders can smell that a mile away. You're basically asking them to fund your dream, and you're the one asking for a favor. Now let me show you the new way. This is what the top operators do, and it's a total game changer. The pro flipper does the exact opposite. They find the money first. They don't just find a lender for one deal, they cultivate a lending partner. They get that a lender isn't just a bank teller. They are a fellow investor whose entire business is deploying capital into profitable projects. The pro's main job isn't finding a deal, it's finding a deal that fits their lender's proven model. They build a relationship and ask the single most important question in flipping: what do you want to fund? They go shopping with what is essentially a pre-approved blank check because they know with near certainty what their lending partner is looking for. This changes everything. You're no longer a beggar, you're a client bringing them an opportunity. The relationship shifts from adversarial to symbiotic. That's the secret. Stop looking for houses, start looking for money. When you have a committed funding partner, finding the house is the easy part. To get the money first, you have to understand how a hard money lender actually thinks. Here's the key: they are not a bank. They don't obsess over your W-2 or your tax returns in the same way a conventional mortgage underwriter does. Hard money is asset-based lending. The name hard money literally comes from the fact that the loan is secured by a hard asset, the property itself. Their entire decision revolves around one critical question: if the borrower defaults and I have to take this property back, will I get my money back and still make a profit? That's the whole game. While your experience and credit are part of their risk assessment, their primary focus is the deal itself. They underwrite the property. This is why they zero in on two main numbers: the loan to cost, LTC, and the after repair value, ARV. The ARV is what the house is projected to be worth after you've fixed it up. As a common rule of thumb, many lenders will fund up to 70% or 75% of the ARV. That 25-30% cushion is their protection. It's their margin of safety. So, when a lender looks at your deal, they're assessing your entire plan. Is your rehab budget realistic, or is it wishful thinking? Is your ARV based on solid, recent comparable sales? They are your first and most important business partner. Their success is tied to your success, but more importantly, your failure becomes their problem. Once you get that you're not asking for a favor but presenting a joint business venture, your whole approach will change. You'll stop hiding things and start being radically transparent, because you'll realize trust is the most valuable currency you have. So, how do you actually get deals funded consistently, without the stress and uncertainty? You use what I call the reverse engineer strategy. For years I watched investors, including myself, do it the hard way. We'd find a deal, get excited, put in all this work, and then desperately try to find a lender who would say yes. It's a painful process of trying to shove your square peg deal into a lender's round hole. The reverse engineer strategy flips that entire model on its head. Instead of forcing a fit, you find out the shape of their hole first and then go find a peg that fits perfectly. It's about moving from a position of hope to a position of certainty. Step 1 is to stop shopping for deals and start shopping for lenders. This is a crucial mindset shift. Your primary client isn't the end homebuyer, it's your capital partner. Make a list of 5 to 10 local or national hard money lenders and get them on the phone. You can find them through a simple Google search, at local real estate investor meetups, or by asking for referrals from title companies and real estate agents. Here's the key. You aren't calling to ask for money on a specific deal. You're calling to interview them. You're positioning yourself as a serious operator looking for a long-term funding partner, not just a one-off loan. This immediately separates you from 99% of the other investors who only call when they're desperate for cash. You need to ask specific questions to get a blueprint of their lending box. Think of yourself as a detective, gathering intelligence. Your goal is to understand their business so well that you can bring them a deal they literally can't say no to. Let's walk through the essential questions. What property types do you prefer? Single family? Multifamily? Some lenders only do single-family residences. Others might love small, 2 to 4 unit buildings, but won't touch anything larger. Knowing this prevents you from wasting time analyzing a duplex for a lender who only funds single-family homes. Are there specific zip codes or neighborhoods you love to lend in? This is a gold mine. Lenders get comfortable with certain areas. They know the values, the school districts, the buyer demand. If a lender tells you they love the 90210 zip code, your job is to become the best deal finder in that zip code. What's your typical loan size, and do you have a minimum or maximum? This is critical. You don't want to bring $1 million deal to a lender whose sweet spot is $250,000. It tells you what price range of properties you should be focusing on to be the perfect client for them. What are your standard loan-to-value or loan-to-cost ratios? Do you primarily lend on the ARV? ARV, or after repair value, is the key to the whole game. A lender who confidently lends 70% of the ARV gives you a massive advantage, as it often means they can fund the purchase and the entire renovation. This single data point dictates your entire deal structure. What's the minimum experience level you look for in a borrower? Be honest about your background. If you have no experience, ask them. What would a first-time borrower need to show you to get a deal funded? They might say you need a detailed scope of work, a strong general contractor, or a partner with experience. This tells you exactly how to build your team. And, my favorite question, what are the most common reasons you have to turn down a deal? This is like getting the answers to the test before you take it. They will literally tell you what mistakes to avoid. They might say, unrealistic budgets, bad comps, or not enough profit margin. Listen carefully. Their answers are pure gold. You're getting a cheat sheet for exactly what they want to buy. One lender might focus on small, single-family homes under $300K in B-class neighborhoods. Another might specialize in larger million-dollar properties in A-class neighborhoods, but only for experienced borrowers. Each profile is a different target. You just have to pick one that aligns with your goals. Once you have this intel, your job is transformed. You're no longer a shotgun blasting hunter hoping to hit something. You're now a sniper, surgically targeting properties that fit the exact criteria your chosen lending partner already told you they want. You can set up your search filters to only show you properties that match your lender's buy box. You can walk into a property with a ton of confidence that it will be funded before you even write the offer. You've taken the biggest variable in the flipping equation, the funding, and made it a constant. This is how you scale. To help you with this, we've put together a simple Lender Sweet Spot questionnaire you can download for free. It's got all these questions and more, formatted so you can just print it out and fill it in during your calls. It will make you sound like a pro on your very first call. I guarantee it. The link is in the description below. Download it now and start shopping for your funding partner today. This reverse engineering process is how you do a few deals efficiently, focusing on one project at a time. But how do you scale to 5 or even 10 flips at once? This is the critical transition point where you stop being just a house flipper and start thinking like a true business owner, an operator of a real estate investment company. The key isn't just finding more deals, it's about building a predictable, scalable funding machine. The secret lies in your relationship with capital. Once you have a trusted lending partner who knows you can deliver, meaning you've successfully completed projects on time and on budget, you can begin to structure deals for maximum leverage, allowing your own cash to go much, much further. Let's run the numbers on an ideal structure you can often find with experienced hard money lenders who cater to repeat borrowers. Imagine they have a premier program where they fund up to 90% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab budget. However, there's always a crucial cap. The total loan amount cannot exceed 70% of the after-repair value, or ARV. This is a structure sometimes available to borrowers with a strong track record of several successful flips. Why this structure? Because it shows the lender you're finding deals with significant built-in equity, which is their primary source of security. To see how powerful this is, imagine you find this fantastic deal. Purchase price, $200,000 rehab budget, $50,000 total project cost, $250,000 after repair value, ARV, $400,000. This is a home run deal, where the purchase price is only 50% of the future value. This is the kind of deal that makes lenders excited to work with you. Now let's apply the lender's formula. Their maximum loan is capped at 70% of the $400,000 ARV, which calculates to $280,000. Your total project cost, the purchase plus the rehab, is only $250,000. Because your total cost is well below their maximum loan amount of $280,000, the lender can comfortably fund your entire project. They'll give you 90% of the purchase, $180,000, and 100% of the rehab, $50,000, for a total loan of $230,000. In this scenario, you only need to bring $20,000 to the table. This is how you achieve nearly 100% financing from a single hard money source. Now, deals with this much of a discount are rare, but they're out there, and they are what you should be hunting for. But let's be realistic. A more common scenario involves bringing in a second source of capital to bridge a small gap. This is called blended financing, and mastering it is a professional level skill. Let's say the hard money lender in our example will only fund 80% of the total project cost, which is $200,000 in this case. You still have a $50,000 gap to cover your purchase and rehab. Instead of draining your own bank account, you can bring in a private money partner. This could be a friend, a family member, or another investor from your network. You can offer them a great secured return on their capital to cover that gap. For example, you might offer them 10% annual interest on their $50,000, secured by a second position lien on the property. They get a passive, high-yield investment, and you get to keep your capital free for the next deal. As you successfully complete projects using these structures, you become a proven bankable borrower. Your reputation precedes you. Lenders will start competing for your business, proactively calling you and offering better rates, lower points, and more flexibility. This is the end game. You've created a repeatable, scalable funding pipeline that works on command. You're no longer thinking deal to deal, you're building a machine. The process becomes systematic. You get a deal under contract, you send the package to your dedicated funding partner who already trusts your underwriting. They wire the funds within days, and you move on to finding the next opportunity while your construction team manages the rehab. That is the critical leap. That is how you stop being a flipper and start being a real estate investor who runs a flipping business. So, let's bring it all home. The strategy that trips up so many flippers is chasing deals first and money second. They act like someone asking for a favor, not like a business partner. The key to scaling is to flip that script. Stop chasing deals and start building lending relationships. Your real job is to become an expert on what your lender wants to fund and then deliver that exact product to them, over and over again. The key to scaling isn't finding one great deal, it's creating a repeatable funding pipeline. When you can get funding with a single phone call, your business becomes unstoppable. If you're ready to go from being a one-deal wonder to a professional operator, you need to master this. If you want to dive deeper into how to find and structure these deals, check out our video on the 3 ways to structure a 100% financed flip, where we break down the partnerships. And as always, if you got value from this video, hit that subscribe button. Now, go find some money.